Hey everyone. We have been getting quite a lot of new Lego Star Wars leaks lately, and there's a lot of confusing stuff going on. But this is basically everything that I know, all of the leaks up to my knowledge that exist right now. I'm not going to be talking about anything that's been officially revealed by Lego, like I think the Boba Fett statue is, which looks awesome, by the way. The Boba Fett, the Sandcrawler, and the what was the other one? It was the AT-AT from the Mando movie. Yeah, those ones I'm not going to be talking about since they're officially revealed. You can go look at them on Lego.com right now. But some that we do not have revealed for late 26 and early 27. Let's start off with the Imperial Star Destroyer. So it's got 6130 pieces. It's going to release on October 1st, 2026. So later this year. And the newest information we have that is really exciting is it's supposed to have all of the bounty hunters from Empire Strikes Back along with Darth Vader. We don't know about like Imperial officers yet, but I'm pretty sure it's just going to be Darth Vader and then the bounty hunters. So, off the top of my head, I think it's Bosk, IG-88, Forlom, Zuckuss, Dangar, and Boba Fett. Did I say Boba Fett? Um, but a couple of very interesting things to talk about with these figs. So, obviously, with like Forlom and Zuckuss and Dangar and Bosk, we haven't gotten these figures in quite some time. So, it's cool that we're going to get like some modernized versions of them. With IG-88, it's very exciting because in the advent calendar also later this year they have the new IG-88 head, the new assassin droid head that I believe is on IG-11 in the advent calendar, but I could be wrong. But regardless, new assassin droid head mold should be awesome. In terms of the other figures, I'm hoping maybe like a few dual molded legs, dual molded arms type deal. Maybe for like Bosk. Bosk could do with like the Zeb treatment with the dual molded legs and arms. I think would be cool. Forlom, Zuckuss. I mean, these are figs that we just haven't gotten in a while and are very exciting to get. The build itself, for me, is not super exciting. The piece count, I don't think matters at all. I think piece count rarely matters, but for this set specifically, there's a lot of super small details, a lot of greebling, so the piece count isn't going to matter. And I don't think there's a leak for a price yet. But I mean, somewhere around 700 could be good. I mean, 650. It really all depends on like how big the set is. It's really all up to the eye test for me, in terms of how worth it is for your money. Let's see what's next on the list. We got the January wave. So for the January wave 2027, there is some good, there's some bad, and there's some ugly, potentially ugly. Well, let's hope not, but you'll see what I mean in just a moment. So for the January wave, X-wing microfighter, not super interesting. Actually, we don't have a rumored fig for that yet, so it could be an interesting fig. We don't know. There's a lot of X-wings out there in the Star Wars universe. There's a lot of people who pilot it. It's just not super exciting, rather. Next up, we got Anakin Starfighter. Now, this is the good that I was talking about. This, well, with a caveat, with an asterisk, but this is the one I'm most excited about. I love Anakin Starfighter. Figures for this one, we're talking early Clone Wars Anakin specifically, and then R2D2. And that's a little bit disappointing since we did also get Obi-Wan's Starfighter a couple years ago, and it had that third super cool Kaminoan fig that everybody loves, which was unique. Unfortunately, we're not going to be getting that here. I can only assume it's going to be pretty much the exact same scale as that Obi-Wan Starfighter. It's going to be a great build, and if the recent V19 Ahsoka's Interceptor are anything to go off, the Jedi figs have been awesome lately with that Plo Koon as well. So this early Clone Wars Anakin, I think, is going to be great. R2D2. The other thing with R2D2 is they have the chance now to do what they did with the smart play where it has a single stud so that the head can rotate. Obviously not the smart play tag since it's not a smart play set. If they don't do that, it's going to be a missed opportunity because that's the only thing I could think of that would be an innovation on the R2 fig, which is basically already perfect with that back printing and everything else. But moving on to, we got the Darth Vader art. This is another one where I'm just not really interested in. It could be a mosaic, but I'm swaying away from the mosaic, because we did get that Sith mosaic recently. In the past, what year was that? I don't remember. But we got that Sith mosaic relatively recently, which you could do Darth Vader. So I think it's going to be more like the Spider-Man art, which I think looks stupid, and I don't like that at all. But if this is your thing, that's awesome. This is cool for you, but it's going to be $60. It's just not very interesting to me. Next up, we got the Mustafar Duel. This is another one that has, people are divided on this one because it is looking like it's going to be a diorama style with that black border, and it also has a quote. It's going to say, "You were the chosen one." So for me, that's super cool because I love dioramas and everything like that, and I think it's a travesty that they removed dioramas and brought back the helmets, kind of. So I'm glad they're pseudo bringing back dioramas a little bit in this, but it's going to be $40, so it's going to be a very small diorama. I mean, the Pod Racer diorama was 70 or 80, I forget, an absurd amount, and it was really small. So this is going to be tiny, essentially, if it is that diorama style. But it also, so in addition to Mustafar Obi-Wan, Mustafar Anakin, which are really cool, it is also set to have a Han Solo concept art minifigure. Now, these concept art minifigures are going to be for the 50th anniversary of Star Wars, and I really liked what they did with the 25th anniversary of Lego Star Wars with like the what was it, Saw Gerrera, Cal, like Malik, all these figures that we probably wouldn't get, but are still like, we could get a Saw Gerrera in a set, we could get a Cal Kestis in a set, but we are never getting a concept art Darth Vader, a concept art C3PO, all these concept art characters they're doing. We would never get those in a normal set. This is awesome. I think this is a super cool idea for them to do. Whoever, whatever genius at Lego HQ came up with this, good job, because I think this is going to be awesome. But with the Han Solo, he looks very different than Han Solo in the movies, so this is going to be hopefully a really interesting, cool fig, especially with that lightsaber. But that's just a kind of throw in extra bonus for me because I already think this Mustafar Duel diorama set is going to be really cool. Next up, this is potentially the ugly. This is potentially the worst leak because it's an Endor Battlepack, which is cool on the surface. It's going to have a Stormtrooper, a Scout Trooper, and 2 Endor Rebels. So, quick math, that's 4 figures. However, it's going to be allegedly $30. Now, this is where my skepticism kicks in. I don't think it's actually going to be $30 because I don't think Lego would kick it up $7 from the 23 that battle packs are these days. And if they do, this is going to be like, oh, this is going to be worse than the 327th battle pack, which like we didn't think that one could be topped in terms of how overpriced it was. If this is just taking it at face value, if this is $30 for just these 4 normal figures, not even special figures, it's just going to be, nobody's going to buy this. It's going to flop. And I don't really, that's what I'm saying. I don't think Lego is stupid enough to do this, to pull a $30 battle pack, especially when battle pack prices have been increasing so rapidly over the past few years already. I just don't believe they would make this jump. I think there's something we don't know about this set. Either the price is going to be lower or the build is going to be really big, but oh, another thing to mention. I am a modern Stormtrooper hater. I think the helmet is just garbage. They had the perfect mold going in the Rogue One era with that smaller Stormtrooper helmet that looked great and you could turn it and everything. And then they, for some reason, just decided to just make it look really stupid and oversized and you not being able to turn it. So the Stormtrooper is going to look horrible. I don't think they're going to change back to the Endor or to the Rogue One style anytime soon. The Scout Trooper is going to look awesome, though. That is one plus. The Scout Trooper is like my favorite Imperial minifigure of late. I think they look really, really good. The Endor Rebels, I'm sure, will look great as well. Next up, we got the Y-Wing. This is going to be play scale, okay? So comparing to the most recent 2 Y-Wings, I say 2 because 2019 was the Resistance Y-Wing, and I think it looked horrible. I didn't like that set very much. It had some cool figs, but 2017 is a better comparison because they are both like the OT Y-Wings. So I think 2017 had a decent looking Y-Wing, but the main thing for that set was the figs were awesome. It had like Admiral Raddus. It had Moroff. It had a really cool, unique astromech droid pilot, and then a stormtrooper, which at the time, 2017, great stormtrooper head or helmet mold. However, this new one is comparable in price. So the 2017 Y-Wing retailed for $60. So $60 from 2017 is equivalent to $82.80 today, which really close to $80, which is what this one is going to be retailing for. So we can expect, if they don't pull anything crazy, we can expect a quite a comparable model, especially with the minifigure lineup, which for the Y-Wing, it's going to be Leia, 2 pilots, and an astromech, which nothing exciting there for me. The astromech might be cool. We might get a unique astromech like we did in 2017, but the exciting part is there's supposed to be Luke Starkiller in this one. Should be super awesome. You can actually see what he might look like in the Skywalker Saga Lego game that came out a few years back. So looks super great in this game, so I don't expect it to look too much different. It should be awesome. That's the most exciting thing in this set for me in this leak. But yeah, $80. If you think the 2017 model and set was fairly priced, this one seems like it's also going to be fairly priced, so that's good. Next one, which is the Bespin dual play set. Now this one is going to be also $80, just like the last one. So it should be a lot bigger than that 2020 like diorama style with Luke and Vader. It should be a lot bigger than those. Expect some play features, obviously. The best part to me is, again, the concept art figure, the R2D2, because here's my doubts. So the concept art R2, if you haven't seen it, it looks very similar to normal R2, except he has those arms. The problem is the minifig of Chopper that we've gotten in previous Rebels sets before has never had arms like that. So I really hope that they're going to find some way to incorporate that into this concept art R2D2, these arms, because other than that, it's going to look, I mean, the colors are a little different. He has kind of red accents and he's a little bit shinier, I guess, but I don't think it's different enough unless they add those arms in. So I really hope they can pull that off however they do. But the playset itself should be fun, you know. Expect Cloud City Luke and Darth Vader, of course, and there aren't rumored to be any other minifigs besides those three. So it leads us on to what I am considering the ugly for sure, because the Endor Battlepack, it could potentially be ugly if it is $30 for those 4 figs, but I am 100% sure this is going to be ugly. The big fig Pilot Luke. The community is mixed, it seems. A lot of people like these big upscaled minifigs. I personally hate them. I think they're garbage. I think they're just trash. I think it takes up a spot. It's gonna be $100. So $100, if that's your thing, that's great. I'm glad you can enjoy that. But I personally hate these things. I think they look so stupid. With the upscale Darth Vader, he had those stupid goggle looking stickers on his eyes. I think it looked terrible, and it's just not something that I'm interested in the slightest. But objectively, if you do like these, this is going to be, you know, very similar to the Darth Vader one in terms of execution. So it should look pretty decent. This one will have a face, and I'm expecting they print it on, unlike the Darth Vader where it was stickers for the eyes. But since this is like Luke's face, I'm expecting a print. However, there is one last thing in this set. There's going to be the concept art Darth Vader. Now, for this one, if you look at the concept art pictures for Darth Vader, it looks kind of similar to how he shows up in the movies. It just kind of has like a blue robes instead of black, and then his helmet is slightly more. It looks kind of more like a samurai helmet, honestly, which should be cool. And the only way I think they're going to be able to pull this off is if the helmet gets a new unique mold. Because if they just slap the normal Darth Vader mold or helmet onto some dark blue robes, I think people are going to be disappointed in that, and it's not going to make them want to go out and buy the big fig. But yeah, hopefully they put a unique helmet mold on, and I think that's the only way in which this fig is actually cool. Moving on from the big fig, last but not least is going to be the minifig vignette, which is supposedly like 3 little mini dioramas, it seems like. It's going to be Endor, Hoth, and Tatooine, and it's going to have Luke, Leia, and Darth Vader for each of those kind of like, each one is going to go in a different planet. And then the C-3PO concept art figure, which this, very similarly to the Darth Vader, I think is only going to be cool if they use a unique head mold for C-3PO. And I think, I 100% think they are. There's no way that they would just slap the normal C-3PO on. The head looks a little bit different, and the shaping of his limbs do, so you can probably expect different printing and then a different head mold for the C-3PO. So I'm very excited about that as well. This one's going to be either $60 or $70. I don't think we have the price nailed down yet, but also the prices for all of these are subject to change since they are just rumors. But this one isn't going to be January. It's going to actually be April 2027. And it's also going to have the Millennium Falcon, X-Wing, TIE Fighter, and Death Star kind of in the background as like micro builds, I'm assuming. With these micro builds in the back, I'm not 100% sure how this set is going to look in general. But there are a couple cool mocks, which I've seen that seem to be a similar concept as this one. So all of the diorama sets I think look awesome. So if this is just a miniature version of that, I think that could be really cool. But in terms of sets that we have release dates and kind of more fleshed out details for, that is going to be it. There is also some other leaks that have been circulating around, like the Ewok Village, the mini movie posters, buildable Yoda, Bounty Hunter Pursuit, icons of Star Wars, those kind of things, which I don't believe we have like nailed down details for yet, which is why I won't be discussing them today. But however, there also is something to be excited for. If you look at the original concept art characters, you obviously have the Luke Starkiller, the Darth Vader, C-3PO, Han, and R2D2. But there's also that concept art Chewbacca, which I think probably should be coming later 2027 if they want to round out that cast of characters. The concept art Chewbacca looks really similar to what Zeb ended up looking like, so I'm wondering if they are just going to use that Zeb head mold with different printing for Chewbacca. I guess we'll just have to find out. There's some exciting stuff, there's some lame stuff, and there's just some stuff that is just a tragedy if it ends up happening, like that $30 battle pack. But yeah, there's actually quite a lot of cool stuff here, and it seems like a pretty good wave in terms of the January 2027 wave. But yeah, thank you everybody for listening in, and I'll see you next time.